What is up, guys? It's me, the ALE Double X Prince, and I'm here to talk about the 50th WWE Champion of all time, the modern day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal. Why he failed as a WWE Champion, you might add. Some people say a lot of things. Some people even want him back in the main event. I don't know why. It was a little bit random. And all I gotta say is, people who want Drew McIntyre versus Jinder Mahal, all I gotta say is, why? Why would you want Jinder Mahal back in the WWE picture? It's kind of like if you were to give King Corbin the WWE Championship run, and even then, uh, that would have been much, much better. It really would have. I would rather see Baron Corbin be a three-time WWE champion than Jinder Mahal as a one-time WWE champion, because that was one of the worst times for SmackDown Live history. And I'm here to give you 10 reasons as to why exactly Jinder Mahal fell. Let me just start off by saying that around this time is when I stopped watching SmackDown. It was just unwatchable. Even not just for Jinder Mahal, but even other storylines were just stupid. Like we had, this is the time when Baron Corbin started talking and just cutting promos to show that he was just kind of dull with promos, and he was just boring. Corbin, this era was when Baron Corbin was horrible. We got back that John Cena. Never give up hustle, loyalty, and respect, John Cena, which was stupid. We basically just killed the entire SmackDown Live, and it was just a horrible time to be a wrestling fan in 2017. At least a SmackDown wrestling fan, and it was just unbearable to watch. We thought we were getting something new, and then we ended up just going 50 steps down. So here are 10 reasons as to why Jinder Mahal failed as a WWE champion. So, number 10, it was just random. It was just fucking weird. There was a six-pack challenge. I remember this. It was Mojo Rawley, Sami Zayn, Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, Dolph Ziggler, and Jinder Mahal. Out of those six, I actually thought it was going to be Dolph Ziggler. I thought Luke Harper and Eric Rowan were going to do their own separate things. Sami Zayn looked like he was like not quite ready to be facing Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. And then Jinder Mahal was like, why the hell is he even there? Like, that's kind of just random and out of the blue. And then we have the Singh brothers come out, have them hold Sami Zayn, and Jinder Mahal cheats to win. And sure enough, Jinder Mahal is the number one contender for the WWE Championship. And it was just super random. And what I did not like is that instead of well, we'll get to that part, but it was just like Jinder Mahal was like, okay, he's gonna fight Randy Orton, and then sure enough, he won. Yes, Randy Orton went from winning the Royal Rumble, beating Bray Wyatt for the WWE Championship, and then losing it to the modern day Maharaja Jinder Mahal. Can you imagine what kind of life Randy Orton had in 2017? It was just, I felt bad for Randy Orton, and keep in mind, this is coming from a guy who doesn't like Randy Orton's attitude sometimes. Yes, he like scratches his dick and shakes people's hands or whatever, which gross and just disturbing to hear about that. But yeah, Randy Orton may be fucking weird, but at least he's a star. What the hell is Jinder Mahal? Just something random and just out of nowhere. Uh, Two, he was not ready, and by that I mean he wasn't like a good wrestler. SmackDown Live was supposed to be the land of opportunity where they help you rebrand yourself and help you out. Like it helped Heath Slater, Rhino, it even made James Ellsworth a star. So Jinder Mahal was just kind of nobody. He was the runner-up to the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. That's pretty much the only thing people remembered out of WrestleMania's Battle Royal, that Jinder Mahal did not win, and then he ended up becoming the WWE champion, not Mojo Rawley. Thankfully, Mojo Rawley's not a WWE champion. Let's just be happy about that. But he just wasn't ready. He was not the best wrestler. Nobody really saw a good match out of this guy ever, not even during his 3MB days. He was just a random jobber. People put him just to like squash him, and it was just like, really, this is the guy who's gonna be the WWE champion, and his character didn't work because well, number three is the foreign heel gimmick. It's old, it's unbearable to watch. It's just so stupid. Uh, the last time I remember something like the anti-American heel worked was probably Rusev, but even Rusev had Lana and the whole, because they actually talked about serious topics. It was political. It was dark. It was bad, and it was bad, but like in a good way, like Michael Jackson bad. Let's not talk about Michael Jackson. Let's scratch that. But you know what I mean. Rusev was at least more entertaining, and he had an undefeated streak, which made it more believable for Rusev to be at the top where he is. And unfortunately, he did lose to John Cena at WrestleMania 31. But let's just ignore that for a second. But yeah, so it was out of the blue. He wasn't ready, and his character was stupid. What else could go wrong? Well, he kept losing on TV. I remember he kept getting RKO'd and pinned by Randy Orton. He kept getting embarrassed by John Cena. Hell, I think even to a point, Sami Zayn pinned him, Ty Dillinger pinned him, maybe even Chad Gable pinned him. I'm not even sure, but I remember he kept losing and losing matches. I don't get it. He started in the beginning, like in six pack challenges, pinning people and getting some momentum, getting some heel heat, which worked. And then he just kept losing and losing and losing once he became the champion. And let me just say that once you do that, champions, or at least world champions, are just meant to fail. Look at Rey Mysterio. Look at Seth Rollins. Look at Kevin Owens. Those guys failed as world champions because they kept losing all the time to the supposed mid card division, and that's not good for a world champion. Uh oh, that reminds me. He was never in the main event. That's number five. He was never in the main event. People remember 2017 SmackDown for Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon, which eventually led to the rise of Daniel Bryan. Um, AJ Styles was easily the best part of SmackDown. Uh, I don't know why, but AJ Styles just seems to like just love SmackDown more than he did Raw. I don't know how that happened, but like when SmackDown was shit, they had AJ Styles. Hell, it was so bad that they actually waited after 205 Live to put AJ Styles on TV so people could stay in the crowds and doing stuff. Oh, trust me, we're gonna talk back about those crowds. But yeah, uh, Jinder Mahal was never in the main event. The U.S. title was on the main event. The women's title was in the main event. You could say it's for the women's revolution, but come on. I mean, the women were in the main event more than the WWE champion. I feel like it's fine if you're gonna have like the tag division in the closing segment, if you're gonna have the women's division in the closing segment, but the main focus should always be the WWE Championship. If he wasn't gonna be the main event of the show, he should at least be like the second to last thing you see. That should be fair. And I remember even I don't remember any poster having Jinder Mahal. I believe maybe SummerSlam had him like on the side where you could barely see him. Battleground, well, to be fair, Battleground there wasn't. They really promoted that Punjabi prison, which is fucking stupid. Uh, um, yeah, like he was never in the main posters of your SmackDown pay-per-views, and this is your WWE champion. Now, AJ Styles was hardly in the posters, but he was in the posters to say the least. I remember TLC 2016, the previous year, he was the main poster of TLC. So this just shows you that they really didn't give a fuck about this guy, and that's bad. When they don't even give a fuck about you, then why even try? You know what I'm saying? Uh, Six. No one ever talks about this moment, but this was originally Rusev's spot. Yes, a guy who has been like screwed over. He wanted to be WWE champion from the beginning. This would have been way much better. I guarantee you. If Rusev took Randy Orton's spot, it would have been way much better. Those stories would have been better. I hope to God it wouldn't be like the foreign heel, because Rusev already did that. It wouldn't make sense for him to do that. He should just be a monster, just getting mad because he's been screwed over time after time. People get behind him, but then little by little, you could see why people would turn on him. Because Rusev knows how to like make people turn on you. Now, unfortunately, that wouldn't mean he would use Lana that much, because around this time I think Lana was trying to be a face, but it failed miserably because Lana is just like a natural heel. She just is. No matter how hot she is, she's just a better heel. And yeah, this was supposed to be Rusev's moment. Imagine all the better matches we could have gotten. Him and Cena, him and Orton, him and Nakamura, him and Styles. Those matches would have been much better than what we got. This is probably the biggest one, but Road Dogg. Road Dogg was the head writer around this time. Around this time, Ryan Ward was the head writer between the beginning of SmackDown in 2016, even way before we went to SmackDown Live, but from there till WrestleMania, and then for some reason they just said, you know what, let's take him out and let's put Road Dogg. Why? Here's why. DX, bitch. Triple H, one of the stupidest things Triple H has ever done. I think Triple H is meant to be an NXT guy. This is the honest truth. I think Triple H is meant to be the NXT guy, and there's a reason why. Because he's good at putting young talent over, but when he wants to help out his buddies, he fucking blows it. Look at Shawn Michaels at Crown Jewel. Granted, that was Taker's idea, but come on. A little bit had to do with Triple H. Look at his match with Batista at WrestleMania 35. It was a decent enough match, but it's too fucking long. So, Triple H, DX, like, come on. Road Dogg was not ready. This guy was good at cutting promos. That should have been his role, but they should have stuck with Ryan Ward. And I guarantee you, if Ryan Ward wrote Jinder Mahal's promos, segments, skits, whatever, Jinder Mahal would have at least been a passable champion. Next reason, people would always leave around his time. Remember those infamous pictures of the TV crowds where the entire SmackDown arena was empty and people were blaming Road Dogg? That's another thing. Road Dogg's a bitch. He's a fucking asshole. Like, I can't stand that fucking guy. I'm glad he got fired. I'm glad he's fucking devastated. Like, that's what he fucking deserves for being such an asshole. But yeah, people used to leave the crowds. Sometimes they even put him in the opening segment. That way they can continue on the show without him. That is how fucked up and how inconfident they were with Road Dogg. With Jinder Mahal. Yeah, crowds would just leave. They would just like not give a shit because this guy was fucking boring. And yeah, like I said, he wasn't ready. He was just boring. His character blowed. It was just too bad. It ruined SmackDown Live. This was the definitive WWE will never be great again. Because in 2016, like I said, SmackDown was incredible. The segments were great. The storyline was great. It didn't matter how little talent they got. They made it work with what they got. I remember even AJ Styles cut a promo on Talking Smack when the draft happened. He said, yes, SmackDown is the land of opportunity. SmackDown is the place where we make stars. Here, SmackDown makes him, Raw takes him. That was a fucking great promo. I remember that on Talking Smack. But this really showed us like, oh shit, I can't wait for Cesaro to go to SmackDown Live. I can't wait for Sami Zayn to go to SmackDown Live. I can't wait for all of these stars to go to SmackDown Live. But unfortunately, we had a little like bit of like not so great talents. They took a lot of great talents from SmackDown Live. The Miz, who could have been a better WWE champion around this time, that would have made more sense considering his feud with Bryan. They just kind of paused that until Bryan was back in the ring. Yeah, now that I think about it, Miz should have been the WWE champion around this time. So they took The Miz, they took Bray Wyatt, they took freaking Heath Slater and Rhino, who were doing a fantastic job. They took Apollo Crews. Now, pause for a second. Apollo Crews is a lot better at freaking Raw than he ever is on SmackDown. On SmackDown, they have nothing for this guy, even when they try. But then on Raw, he was part of Titus Worldwide. He helped a little bit the tag team division. They put him in matches with Bobby Lashley when he was the IC champion. They gave him more chances on Raw. And hell, he's the US champion as we speak right now. So, anyways, I'm getting off track. But yeah, I think uh, around this time they just had nobody. They just took a bunch of jobbers and just put them on SmackDown and like here, try to make stars out of these guys. Like whatever works Ryan Ward put on SmackDown 2016, all of that was gone after the draft, and then they just gave him a bunch of jobbers. And to top it off, he's not even running the fucking show. So it was just like so stupid. Uh, there was, and despite not having that many talents, freaking other talents were way much better. We had Nakamura on the show. We had Rusev. We had Styles, Owen, Zayn. Hell, even Baron Corbin to an extent before he was ruined. Dolph Ziggler. Chad Gable around this time was rising up the ranks. Um, they just had better stars, and Jinder Mahal was just nobody. But the very, very important reason as to why Jinder Mahal's reign failed is plain and simple. The reign was too fucking long. Why the hell did Jinder Mahal hold the belt for months? It was, let's see, he won it at Backlash, he held it from Money in the Bank, Battleground, SummerSlam, Hell in a Cell, and the only reason why he lost it was because nobody wanted to see Jinder Mahal face Brock Lesnar. They instantly saw that was a red flag. They put the belt immediately on AJ Styles so we could do Brock and AJ. And then they even had AJ hold the belt all the way till the end of the following year because that belt was ruined by Jinder Mahal. That's why we didn't get Nakamura get his moment at WrestleMania 34. That's why Samoa Joe never became the WWE champion. Because they really needed AJ Styles to bring the momentum back up for that belt because Jinder Mahal ruined it so bad. And look at where he went now. He was supposed to hold the belt due to them promoting India, which he didn't even hold the belt, and he lost at India to Triple H. Then he got a U.S. championship shot. He was back in the lower mid-card division, won the belt at WrestleMania, the U.S. belt. And then he went to Raw, and honestly, I was a little bit more excited for him on Raw because I had a feeling that they could figure out something better to do with him. At the same time, Jason Jordan and Chad Gable, two like American talents, could have like helped develop Jinder Mahal. It's could have like made a bunch of stars. He was feuding with Roman Reigns, and then he just disappeared. He just went nowhere. He almost made a comeback, but then Drew McIntyre, they realized that Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal was not a draw. They made McIntyre and Orton instead, which is a way much better match. Oof, that was a handful. Anyways, that is why Jinder Mahal failed as a WWE champion. Should he ever come back as a WWE champion? Fuck no. Should he be back in the mid-card division? That is a big... Yes, I agree. I think he should at least try to come back. I remember his goal was to be a Grand Slam champion. I think he could do it. Maybe not hold the IC belt for very long. It could be pretty cool. Think about it. AJ Styles is the WWE, the IC champion right now. Jinder could be like, me losing to you ruined my career. We could do that. He still needs a tag team belt. I think that's the only thing you could really do with Jinder. Make him a Grand Slam champion, or hell, release him. And then he could go to Impact or some shit, because let's be honest, Impact is just the real developmental, not NXT for WWE. At this point, just buy. WWE has enough money to buy TNA. I'll just do it, or Impact Wrestling, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, that's it. It's me, the ALE XX Prince. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and until then, I'm out.